What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Video Homicide. Welcome to day 3 of the 31 Days of Horror. Video Homicide is proud to present this month-long horror-filled extravaganza. So today, with it being day 3, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 1964 historical drama horror film Onibaba, also known as Demon Hag, directed by Kenito Shindo. Okay, now this is a movie that I've heard about for a long time, and you know, like the whole like Oni mask is very, you know, iconic. It's an iconic look, and you know, it's been referenced in art and films and all kinds of things for a long time, even before this film came out. And to me, it's one of the most inspirational images of all time, like especially to myself, because I'm a big fan of Japanese art, and you know, this type of imagery is often included in the type of art that I'm interested. So it's really cool to see a movie, you know, kind of utilize that. And I'm sure that other movies do it in a more you know, supernatural sense, but this film, spoiler alert, like I said in the intro of the series here, I'm gonna spoil this film because I have to in order to talk about it. And I'll start off by saying it's about it's almost 2 hours. It's about 20 minutes shy of 2 hours, and there is parts that feel like it's going for a while, because the majority of the film is spent with these two women who you know, are mother and daughter-in-law. The son slash husband is lost at war, so to speak, and what they do, because of this being a wartime, what they do is whenever they see soldiers coming along, they kill the soldiers and they sell the soldiers you know, armor and weapons and all that stuff to this guy who's like running a bit of a pawn shop, and he's trading the weapons and stuff to fund his own like militia, which we never really see. And he pays them in food, because food is like hard to come by, you know, because all the men are gone to war, and you know, all the women are forced to do all this, you know, survival shit by themselves, or the aid of people that are, you know, the manly men, if you want to call them that. But anyways, you know, the film starts off with these two samurai, you know, running through the woods, being chased by these these soldiers, and they get shot by arrows. Now, I'm not sure if they got shot by arrows by the two chicks, or if they got shot by the arrows by the guys, but nonetheless, that's when we get introduced into like their scam. And I think it's a really cool idea. Like, I think that it's cool that they take all this, you know, the armor and the swords and like all these like cool weapons. Like, you really get to see the, you know, period accurate, well, I'm not saying that the film is from that period, but like very high quality, well-made samurai armor, because it's something you don't often get to see, you know, unless you're like a fan of like the samurai flicks and stuff like that. But even into the 70s, some of the stuff just looked cheap. Like in this film, like the stuff looked good, looked like it might protect you against something, and all the weapons look really badass. So you know, this is how they live, okay, for however, who knows how long. And one day the son's friend shows up and says that the son has been killed, and he kind of helps these women, you know, like catch fish and catch bad guys, so to speak, and all that kind of stuff. And he kind of has the hots for the daughter-in-law, and they kind of start this little thing, and the mother has like, she is disgusted by it, and she says like it's a sin and all this and that, you know, like I'll help you find a good husband when the war's over, all this kind of stuff, and saying like, you know, demons are gonna get her and this and that. And you know, the daughter-in-law is, you know, she's horny too, so she's going off to sneak, and you know, they bang in the night and all that kind of stuff. And she comes back, like the daughter keeps coming back to the home of the mother. It's not really much of a home, it's more of like a little hut. But and then the mother becomes wise to this, and then one night she's out walking along, or actually she's sitting in her hut, and this big samurai guy comes in, and he's wearing the mask, like the iconic demon mask, not to be mistaken with the Lamberto Bava demon mask, but you get the idea. And he's basically like, you know, like I've lost my way, I need you to show me the road. So the old woman, the mother, you know, says like, if you promise not to kill me, and he's like, yeah, fuck, I'm not gonna kill you. So he takes her, or she takes him on this little, you know, trek through this very like swampy, like very lots of reeds and stuff, like not kind of a decent place to live, in my opinion, unless that's like the way you've been raised since birth and you find that normal. But she, like, I almost forgot to mention, like, they dispose of all the bodies in this like big pit, and the old woman, you know, is like misleading this demon samurai guy, and she jumps over the hole, and he thinks she's running, so he kind of runs to and falls into the pit. And then the woman the next day goes down into the pit using a rope, and removes the mask, but the mask is like a pain in the ass to take off, so it takes her a little while, and she sees that the samurai's face is all torn to shit. And he was saying that he wears the mask because he's so beautiful, and you know, if people see it, like if peasants can't look at him and all that kind of stuff. But when she removes the mask, which is a pain in the ass, like I said, his face is all scarred up and disgusting, and she's like, you're nothing to look at. And she takes all of his stuff, goes out of the hole, and goes and starts pawning the stuff off, you know. But she's doing it in small increments, because she says, like, you know, like the guy will give more food if it's spread out, you know what I mean? Like you get more bang for your buck if you go more times, kind of thing. But anyways, the old woman is like so pissed off at the daughter-in-law for doing this, you know, going to bang this guy, like her son's friend, that she uses this demon mask and like some very cinematic shots. Like one thing I will say about this flick is it's very cinematic, good use of camera movement. That's something that I really respect with, like, you know, like especially these 60s Japanese films. Like they'll either have the camera sitting in one spot or the camera's moving all over the fucking place, and I love that. And good focus, like everything looked nice and sharp, especially for a film from 1964. You know, it looks beautiful. But anyways, after a few nights of her pretending to be this demon and like doing like almost like this like borderline cross thing with like this cool lighting, and the mask looks amazing, and the daughter-in-law thinks it's a real demon because she's been warned about this demon, and so she keeps going back to the mother and, you know, her's hut, and the guy is starting to get pissed. He's like, you're fucking standing me up and all this stuff, and they end up meeting up somewhere and banging, and the girl tells the guy, like, hey, listen, there's a fucking demon out here. And he's like, nah, it's probably a weasel. He's like, people mistake weasels for all kinds of things. And I love that. I actually don't mind the guy. He's kind of a bit of a goofy, like, goofball. But as the guy's making his way back to his hut, when he gets there, there's this, like, guy who I assumed might have been the husband, but it never gets tied up. And this guy that's in his hut that's eating his food kills our dude, and that's the end of that dude, or that's the end of that guy rather. And it goes over to the daughter, the daughter getting attacked by this demon again, and then going back to the hut and seeing that the old lady is like balled up in the corner, and she's like, what the hell's going on? And then she sees that she's wearing the mask. She can't get the mask off. She's freaking out. I'm sorry. I should have never done this. It's punishment because I tried to scare you as a demon. Now I'm turning into a demon, like, with this mask is not coming off me. And eventually, like, the daughter, like, is like bashing the mask with like this pot, and the mask cracks and it comes off, and like the old mother-in-law is all like gross and disgusting, like that samurai demon guy. And it's quite crazy because, like, it's the same deal that the woman did to the samurai demon, because the daughter-in-law is running through the forest, leads her right to the hole, jumps over the hole, the old lady falls in the hole, the end. You know, that's pretty much the entire movie. But I had a lot of good times with it, or like, you know, I had fun watching it because it was so refreshing, you know, to see. Like, I wouldn't call this movie like a real horror film. Like, there might be like some scary elements in it, I guess you could say, but for the most part, it's just like a really decent movie that has some kind of like demon mask mixed into it. But like I said, this is not a supernatural flick. But I think it deserves to be on the list of 31 Days of Horror because, you know, when you look up best horror films of all time, Onibaba is on the list like 75% of the time. So I had to give it a watch. And there's a few more Japanese flicks coming up in 31 Days of Horror. So I hope you guys stay tuned. Leave a 666 in the comments. And with that being said, adios.